Welcome along, fellow time travelers. This is Scott Cardinal. In this micro lesson, we're going to travel to Los Angeles to check out another mansion formerly owned by a gentleman named Brian Hugh Warner, who is known professionally as Marilyn Manson. The reason for micro lessons such as this is to celebrate the homes, gardens, and workspaces of creative people throughout history. And it's also to help people understand what the architectural and design elements are when they look at buildings. Also, studying architecture and design can help people increase their powers of observation that can be used in other areas of their lives. So, let's get rolling. As mentioned previously, I know absolutely nothing about Mr. Warner or his stage persona. But a lot of people seem to like what he does and are curious about his homes, and so I've been asked repeatedly to cover them. And so that's exactly what this is. However, I do think it is important that people learn to distinguish that there is a big difference between an entertainer's stage persona and how they live their normal lives. After all, the actor who played Ronald McDonald did not live in McDonaldland. And way back when Kirk Douglas played the role of Spartacus, I could almost guarantee you that he did not go home at night in a chariot. And he probably didn't walk around his house dressed as a gladiator. And you could probably trust me when I tell you that the great Johnny Weissmuller probably did not swing around on vines in his backyard, calling out to his jungle friends, and hanging out with his loyal chimpanzee. So please, people, you need to always remember to separate the art from the artist. And so now we're going to check out this house, which is kind of cool, and he paid about $1 million for it. So here's what we know. Mr. Warner used to live at 3401 Troy Drive in Los Angeles. And as you can see, the drive through his neighborhood is really nice. And there are views of the mountains and the surrounding city. And not only does it look pretty in the daytime, but at night you can see the city lights. So it's a nice place to live. And there are still some homes here from the 1920s. And Mr. Warner purchased this house, which was built in 1926. And you can see it's a Mediterranean style, and it spans a little over 2,700 square feet. And there's a long staircase that snakes up the hillside from the street to the front door that opens directly into the living room. And as you can see, it is a cavernous living room with wood floors. It is a double height ceiling. It's actually 20 feet in height with exposed wood beams. There's a corner fireplace, and the house has plenty of French doors that open up onto patios. And there's an extra wide second floor gallery that overlooks the living room. And this actually leads to the double master suites. And I'll talk about that in a little while. And in the corner is a doorway. And if you go into that, it leads into the dining room, which is large enough for separate eating and sitting spaces. And as you can see, it has a shallow barrel ceiling. The kitchen is kind of bright. It has plenty of counter and storage space, and it leads out into a really stunning patio area. Now, as far as the bedrooms, there are 2. And there's also another room that could be used as a 3rd bedroom, or as an office, or an art studio, or anything else, and it is accessed by a separate entrance, and it has a private patio and storage space. And as you can see, the bedrooms have nicely renovated bathrooms. And surrounding the house on both sides are private patios and gardens. Oh, and the garage has been converted into a flexible space that's ideal for a gym or a recording studio or a home office. And in November of 2021, Mr. Warner sold this house for a bit over the $1.8 million asking price. And so this concludes this micro lesson about another mansion formerly owned by a gentleman named Brian Hugh Warner, who is known professionally as Marilyn Manson. If you have any thoughts about this subject matter, please put those in the comments below and share what's on your mind. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, kindly give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.